Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about the mind, mental toughness in particular, how the mind, and especially as it relates to mental toughness, will absolutely impact your level of productivity. So thanks for being here. If you are new to the show, allow me to say a few words about myself. Um, This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences. The film rights for that book were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people caught my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize. I'm also the author of that was just in October, which is pretty crazy. I'm also uh, the author of the acclaimed new book. I'm feeling really acclaimed right now. Um, Acclaimed new book, animating Black and Brown liberation: a theory of American literatures, which just came out April the 10th. That book interrogates the intersection of race uh, and it's not race, but justice in literature. Uh, a really powerful book. I'm on the book tour for those last two books. I'll be in at the Brattleboro Literary Festival in Vermont. I'll be in Kentucky at the Kentucky Book Festival. I'll be in Chicago at Northern Illinois University. I'll be here in LA at the Leimert Park Book Festival. I'm coming to you, so when you see me, holla. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English Lit. So thanks for being here. Let's dive in. So again, today we're talking, guys, about the mind, but in particular, if you know the show, we've been talking about aspects of thought lately, and today we're talking about mental toughness. Point one is that you want to develop mental toughness. It does seem as if those folks who are able to have a high levels of success, for whatever reason, have to go through this particular minefield in a way. You just have to go through a lot of challenges, and maybe that's just the way it works. But through those challenges, those who can remain persistent through them all, uh, they emerge just refined, like literally uh, a vase in a kiln. Isn't a kiln the thing that they make vases out of? I think so. Kiln, Kiln. Just the fire, just being refined by the fire. It's true. I mean, I've got so many stories just like that. Wow. I mean, because I also write books besides teaching. Publishing is a very complicated business. It's hard to get books published, and in some ways, the better the book, although this may sound weird, the better the book, the harder it is to get it published. You know, think about that. And so I tend to want to write great books, and at times it's been, although they've gotten published, thank God, but man, the challenge to get through the publishing world with a book that um, shows complicated people of color, especially. Good luck. But through that, though, as you come out on the other side, you are able to have an advanced skill set level, because you've been through so much stuff, which goes right into point two. Mental toughness is so important because you have to be able to get through the testing, the fire, the challenges. Um, and, a lot of it is just deciding I'm not going to give up, even when I'm super down or frustrated or thinking not now or some other challenge, being able to believe, to know that through faith and intensity and hard work and just excellence, because although excellence in my experience has attracted, at least to me, a lot of negative energy. I mean, also positive energy too, but there's a lot of haters to Black excellence. I mean, it's pretty intense. The things that I've gone through, you would think I was exaggerating, but unfortunately, I am not. But just at times, people feel more comfortable with what I call the Charles Barkley effect. When you're a buffoon, you're African American like Mr. Barkley, or when you kind of align with someone's stereotypes about black folk, people just embrace you more. It's easier to embrace a stereotype than someone who's complicated, who's more educated or smarter or better or whatever that person is vis-a-vis you. You are vis-a-vis the other person. So that's been my experience. When you're too good at your job or your projects are too good, you're at a very high level, you just encounter a lot of resistance. That's been my professional experience. So the point is that you have to decide resistance be damned, because resistance is futile. You're going to keep on keeping on. And because you believe in yourself, you believe in excellence, because I really do believe in excellence. That in the long run, that's going to win out. I really believe that in the long run, if you are excellent, someone's going to be like, you know what? Although I'm insecure, although I'm challenged by all this excellence, this project, this book, this person deserves a shot. And that's also been my story. There's always been at least one person, despite all the haters, who's been like, you know what? This is amazing. Or you're amazing. And we're going to do the right thing. Because some people do have integrity. Some people do have an ethical core. And at times, even when they feel challenged by your excellence, the ethical piece will kick in. They'll do the right thing, which goes right into point 3. You have to get to that point to find that one person. So in publishing, it just takes one yes. I've got incredible publishing stories. A lot of rejection, guys. I think about briefly Raising Fences, which was really my first big book. I mean, I've had a few books, but that was my first kind of breakout book. Today Show, Book of the Month pick. I was on Oprah with that book. I mean, so many things happened for that book. Screenwrites purchased by Will Smith. I wrote the screenplay for that book. I mean, a lot of great things happened. New York Times bestseller. But that book received 34 rejections. So 2 rounds of rejections. I only received 1 offer for that book, despite that book, I think, being pretty good. People would say things like, oh, we already know black people. It's a memoir about it's kind of a social political coming of age story. It's a memoir. Things I heard from people, it was from publishers, editors, it's unreal. And that book received 34 rejections. And the last possible person, the only person to say yes was, folks at Penguin Putnam, Riverhead. Thank God. So I'm just saying, you have to be able to get to the point where that one person can say yes. If I would have quit after the 32nd rejection, I wouldn't have gotten to the 35th person who eventually said yes. So that's the other key. You have to be mentally tough to go through it and not allow it to crush you. Because for many people, they are crushed by the rejection, by the disappointment. And I can completely relate to that, no doubt, because it's tough, But it's why you have to be mentally tough. You have to work on that by being what I would just call spiritually grounded, through meditation, as we talk a lot about on this show, meditation and yoga and other types of modalities, running. Those are just my particular technologies, but we help individuals develop a system to enhance their overall internal fortitude. So, boom goes the dynamite. That's all for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early, 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Again, go to productivethroughjoy.com. Look for me when I come to Kentucky, Vermont, Chicago. I'll be a lot of places. Say hello. Let's grab some tea, some coffee, a drink, some cognac, and let's chop it up a little bit. All right, thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Yeah, that's it. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.